Okay, now to close up iteration 0, when we're deploying, another really important part is that when we deploy to the TDD environment, to the UAT environment, to the production environment, we deploy the same release candidate, meaning we deploy the same set of versioned packages, okay? The same set of versioned packages. We don't, when we're deploying to TDD or UAT, we don't go back to the Git repository, clone the Git repository, and compile again. If you ever hear somebody say, we need to build to UAT, or we need to build to production, and you find that they're actually compiling the code again, no, big mistake. Every time you create a build, you're creating an unproven release candidate. That's why we call it a release candidate. It is a candidate for release. We don't know that we're going to release it. It's a candidate for release. We have to run it through our unit tests, integration tests, and full system acceptance tests in a fully deployed environment. And then we need to deploy it to UAT and have humans check it out. Then it's not a release candidate anymore. It is a pending release, or it is a general availability release. It's an actual release, not a release candidate, okay? So we don't build to production. We take a numbered release candidate that's already been to every stage beforehand, and then we deploy that exactly to production. And that really constrains the surface area where it would even be possible for new bugs to slip in. So when you're thinking about these 3 different environments, you want to make sure that when you deploy to production, you are doing the least amount of steps. And you want to make sure that every single step that you use when deploying to production has been done in multiple environments ahead of production. In our test automation environment for TDD, we're gonna migrate the database, deploy the application. We're gonna run our health checks. We're gonna load some static data that just needs to be in every instance of the database. But we're gonna do a lot more things. Think about running acceptance tests. There's no way we're gonna run acceptance tests in UAT, because just the test setup alone is inserting and deleting records in the database to set up a certain scenario. We would blow away, test data that manual testers rely on in UAT, and we would accidentally blow away customer data if we did that in production. So no way do we do those things in UAT or production. And when it comes to loading test data, we don't do that in production. We do it when requested in UAT. Sometimes we'll recreate a test environment, or we'll set up a secondary manual test environment on demand. But the important part is every step, everything that you do to deploy to production, you want to make sure that you have practiced it many, many, many times before.